Hello, good morning, viewers. Another beautiful Wednesday to you from the world's capital city, London. My name is Princess Cassie, and this is Wake Up Nigeria. You know how we do it here. Okay, my people, before I move forward, I get one small gist. I have a small gist like this that will really interest you people. Anyway, before I go into that gist, I want my colleague to join me, my colleagues from Abuja, because this gist go catch fire. What is happening in Rivers State? So Wike, even being a minister, these children don't get fear of God though. They had to destroy Wike's image statue somewhere in River State. And now this shows that people are actually tired. And I keep saying it, when you push people to the wall, they won't have any other option, man. They will turn and they will face you. And this is what we're saying in River State today. And the way the economy is going, the way people actually, there's hunger in the land. I'm praying for Tinubu right now so that we don't see things like this. Our politicians, the elites, the political leaders, they failed. There is no doubt about that, But you can always join me on the show today via the comment sections, and of course, you can call in to drop your opinions as well. And today is a very special day. For me personally, I love today, not for anything, but because I'm a warrior. I call myself a warrior. You are a warrior as well. And you know that every 19th of June, the world comes together, unite to celebrate, all the nations of the world, to celebrate World Sickle Cell Day, the international awareness day that is observed to increase public awareness, about sickle cell. And we live in a country where people are very stubborn. I'm particular about Nigeria, where I'm from. And you know that a lot of people, love, love is sweet. People will not understand the implications, of what they do when they make these wrong choices. Is love enough? And how are they coping, how to live with sickle cell? When we talk about, the emotions that are involved, the psychological effects of it, the financial aspect of it as well. Is it worth it? These are some of the questions we'll be taking today, we'll be looking at as we celebrate World Sickle Cell Day with our dear warriors. We're actually making everyone proud. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Just sit back, relax, and I'm going to bring in my colleague right now, all the way from Abuja. Mary, good morning. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good morning, Princess. How is London this morning?
London is fine. A little bit cold, but I'm okay. I'm okay. How is Abuja? What's happening? I hear say they destroy Wike statue for Rivers. Are you happy? How are you people taking it? Because Wike is not your new governor.
No,
Wike
you
is your
cannot be
minister.
asking somebody spin. I thought Wike is your friend. I thought you like Wike.
He used
No,
to.
you
He
cannot
used
be
to not. He used to not anymore, but before. So, how are you people taking it?
Anyway, you know now the way Nigerians are. Some people are kind of happy about it. Some people are just like what you said. Now, when you push somebody to the wall, you understand, you won't blame whatever actions they have. It's because people are like, why is it that Wike could not just concentrate on whatever he's doing here in Abuja? Why fighting them over there in Rivers? If they leave you, will you be able to rule Rivers and Abuja as a minister at the same time? So it looks like some people are jubilating, rejoicing about it. But there was a time you had a guest. Now you know fully well that was actually on the side of Wiki. You understand? So people that love him, even with his flaws. I don't know why you don't love him with his flaws. There are people that love Wiki even with his flaws. So they actually don't see anything wrong with whatever he's doing. You get, so they're actually applauding and they kind of no, sorry, they're actually reacting to whatever happens. They kind of that he was not respected as an ex-governor. There's some accolade that was supposed
And
to
a
be
city minister. That is the main gist, man.
yes.
Anyway, we're going
That
to
he
go
was
back to that
really
gist.
and Wike should take action. I was just looking at all the arguments. Wike should take action. You cannot allow people that are just like his boys. You understand? People that are supposed to be respecting him to come
I'm
and
going to viewers relax today in a long day. I'm going to be playing that video shortly. But let me bring in my beautiful guest. I have somebody I respect so much. Her name is Tola Dehinde. She is, one of the people I look up to. I went through a book, I went through a page, and I was wild. This is somebody that the world is reckoning with. And I was so happy to have you this morning, ma'am, on the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today, ma'am?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well too, ma'am.
Happy Sickle Cell
Okay.
Day.
Yes, happy to have you here, ma'am. Let's go into the business of today. So, the world celebrates Sickle Cell Day today. Amazing day to celebrate amazing people, warriors who have been doing so well. This a set of brilliant people because there is no how you see a sickle cell person that is not brilliant. That is one unique thing about them. Now, how do you feel today as we celebrate warriors across the world?
Wow. I feel good. Now that I'm getting older, I understand the impact that Sickle Cell Day can have around the world, around the globe, in terms of the awareness that it brings, because it gives us an opportunity not only to talk about it all the time, but definitely on this day to be able to speak, have interviews like you're doing, and let people know what sickle cell is.
I'm quite happy to see you, ma'am. There's this cliche, or there's this, while we were growing up, there's
Yes.
this thing they used to say, oh, sickle cell, they don't live past 21 years, they die, so very soon she will die, he will die, and all that. But
Mm.
seeing you is quite, I'm happy. How's the journey been so far, living with sickle cell, ma'am?
It's not been easy. I mean, you know that too, Princess. It's not been easy at all. But I am most grateful that I'm alive. And you're right. Most people that grew up maybe in the 60s, 70s, 80s, I guess maybe up till now, they'll say to them, oh, you're not going to live long. And so that was a reality for me as well. And as a result, I never thought that I would live to be 50, you know. So here I am. I'm over 50, knocking on 60, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful to God to be alive. It's been a challenging journey. Some people are lucky or blessed if one is religious in terms of they are living with sickle cell, but they do not experience any of the painful crises and the symptoms of it. And some people have sickle cell and they experience it on a daily basis, and some people sometimes. So it's very different for individuals. But for me, I would say it's been challenging. But as you said at the beginning, we're warriors. So we keep fighting and we keep moving.
Quite amazing. I'm really happy to hear that. Ma'am, but just before we even go forward now,
Yes.
what is sickle cell to a layperson right now that is
Okay.
watching?
Okay. Right. So I'm going to try and explain it in a very simple way. Um, and this is my explanation of it, that sickle cell is a genetic blood disorder, and it is present at birth. It is inherited when a child receives both genes from each parent, and this is marked by a defective hemoglobin. Now, the disorder doesn't allow the hemoglobin in the red blood cells to carry oxygen. So the disc shaped, sickle shaped cell stick together. And when it does, it blocks blood vessels, causing painful crisis or damaging organs or bringing about complications. Now, all the system in our body relies on oxygen to do the smallest thing whatsoever in order to receive energy. So, because a normal red blood cells, as we know, is round, that's how I like to describe it, round. But a sickle blood a cell is the shape of a sickle or a quarter of a moon. And because of that shape, as they move through the blood vessels, they get stuck together or they stick together. So basically, if our blood doesn't move oxygen, that we breathe in into organs, then what happens is that we would find it difficult to carry out normal, simple tasks such as moving muscles. So the fact that normal red blood cells are round, but those with sickle cell, theirs is just a quarter. You can imagine the difference. It's not even half, it's a quarter. And as such, what could happen is that the normal red blood cells have an average lifespan of 120 days, but a sickled shape cell has a lifespan of anything between 10 to 20 days. So that means that one needs to either be topping up one's blood or be eating well, and those are the basic definition of sickle cell without getting too technical medically.
Wow. Now, ma'am, can you explain to us how is the pain or how excruciating is this sickle cell pain?
The pain is mind blowing. The pain is mind blowing. I'm glad you used the word excruciating. It's mind blowing, and it's very, very, very difficult to cope with the pain. For some people, when they have this sickle cell crisis, they just want to die. That's how painful the pain is. Some people have compared it to giving birth, the pain of childbirth, where that's at that point we know women find that really painful at the point of wanting to give birth. And also, the pain also has been compared to people who have cancer pain. It's difficult to explain. It's as if one's mind, one's brain is about to burst, and the pain is not most time localized to one area. It once it affects one joint, then it just keeps moving from one area to the other. It could be the back. It could start with the back. Then before you know it, it's the neck, it's the shoulders, it's the hand, it's the knees, you know. So before one knows it, every part of one's body is seems to be on fire, but it's not fire. Sometimes like it's difficult to explain it because for everyone it's different. Sometimes I feel as if it's like a hammer. Someone is knocking a hammer on one's bone. It's just difficult, but it's excruciating, as you said.
Wow. Now, I can only imagine the pain right now. Now, let's talk about, what is associated with sickle cell? What are some of the things, the patient should avoid like on daily basis? We know that, like you said, the pain is excruciating. The pain is unbearable. I
Yes.
know I've seen a doctor as well that actually compared that even a pregnant woman it does not feel the kind of pain that sickle cell patients, feels when they are in crisis. Now, what are the things that they must avoid in their day-to-day lives and activities?
Right. Well, I mean, there are a few things. One of them is to try not to have an infection. So we're talking try to keep warm, look after yourself so that you don't either have a cold, a fever, malaria, a cough, because all those infections that would an individual who hasn't got sickle cell could have it, and that would be it. But for someone with sickle cell, that it would then lead or could lead to a crisis. So beware of infection, beware of strenuous exercises, um, beware of stress, physical or psychological stress. So I guess the physical stress would be maybe doing too much, whatever it is that one is doing too much. Say, for example, um, a chef lives with sickle cell, so maybe cooking too much, which I know defeats what I'm trying to say, but maybe sitting down as opposed to standing up, finding ways to help yourself in the kitchen. So physical stress, psychological stress could bring about a crisis. Also, things that people should avoid is being dehydrated. So making sure that one drinks water. I mean, I've got this big goblets. It's not even a cup, where I have water in there and I'm drinking the water all the time throughout the day. Um, Try not to be dehydrated, and also, and things that people should also avoid is to make sure that they eat well. Not eating well, not having enough carbohydrates or protein also could trigger a crisis. So those are the few things that I can mention at this point in terms of things that people should avoid. Yes.
Wow. Ma'am, you've said quite a lot, and we know that, people, in as much as we are adults, I think adults are able to, control themselves, but children sometimes, they would not understand the things they should avoid, the things they should not do. Or when you try to stop them, even as a parent, they might feel like, oh, why am I being stopped and all that. Ma'am,
Yes.
now let's talk about, getting medications for these people. We
Mm.
know that like in a developed country, people have free access to, good health, medical health and all that.
Yes.
And but in Nigeria, what are some of the medications that these sickle cell patients live on, and how easy it is for them to, is it easy to get access to these medications?
I mean, you're right that abroad there's usually free medical care. But for people in Africa, not just Nigeria, one of the main tablets that they need on a daily basis is folic acid, and it's unfortunate that the government doesn't give it to those living with sickle cell. But I do know that in Nigeria, there's so many NGOs, non-profit organizations who give it out, sickle cell clubs um, in the country that give all these basic tablets like folic acid, vitamin C, penicillin to help fight infection. Um, yes, so it's an individual, or when I say individual, obviously a family thing. If it's a child, it's the family in Africa who would be responsible to try and get this for them. But I think it's good if when people are part of a sickle cell community, like I mentioned earlier, in terms of NGOs and clubs, because that way I know that a lot of them on a monthly basis give their members these tablets.
Now, ma'am, we know also that we talk about the medications on daily basis, and you've actually outlined some of the medications. But we just want to know, ma'am, over time, the patient, the crisis, gets worse, or so at some point in time it reduces, or you have to outgrown, because there's this saying way back that if they don't die before 21, somehow they won't feel the crisis again and all that. And I'm happy that you're quite, you're quite today, you're somebody we celebrate. You've been living with it for so many years, and look at you, you're beautiful, amazing. So how is it like? Do the symptom reduce over time, or it increases, or you have to outgrow the sickle cell?
Right. Okay. Sickle cell is what we call a long term disease. Long term means as long as. So there's nothing like outgrowing sickle cell. In fact, I remember maybe some 10 or 15 years ago now, I remember seeing my consultant, and as he was walking, as we were walking together to go into his office, he said to me, he said, "Oh, you know, Miss Dende, that as you grow older, sickle cell will become worse." And I was like, "What?" Because, like you said, we've heard people say that you outgrow sickle cell. So I was thinking, no, I'm going to outgrow this, but actually, that's a lie. You don't outgrow it. As you get older, it becomes worse. The only thing I can say about that is obviously with age comes experience. So I'm able to manage it better compared to when I was younger, and I was carefree and I didn't care. When I was younger, at some point, yes, like you mentioned, once you're 21, they say, "Oh, this is it. You're going to outgrow it, or it's going to become easier." I would say that, yeah, perhaps one doesn't feel it. I can't remember feeling sickle cell the way I'm feeling it now, um, when I was younger. And so perhaps there's a period in time, maybe between one's 20s and maybe 40s, where it dips. But then we know that even for an ordinary person who hasn't got sickle cell, as you age, there are illnesses that come
Of
with
course.
age. The bones, normal bones are fragile, even as one ages. So never mind having a complication that deals with one's joints. So as you age, sickle cell does become worse. So that is something that I really do want to put out there. There's nothing about outgrowing it at all.
Wow. Okay, my
Yeah,
own question
no,
to
go
ask.
ahead, Mary. Go ahead.
Okay, I just got clarified about what she just said because actually I thought it's something you can outgrow. That was the mentality I grew up with. That maybe once you're 20 or so, you just outgrow it. I never knew that even till the age of 30, 40, 50, it's still there. So I really want to know how easy is it to access medication, especially in Nigeria and Africa?
It's not easy. It's not easy. And that's why awareness is important. That's why days like this is important, even though, of course, sickle cell is not just one day. For anyone who lives with it, they're living with it. It's their reality. It's not easy, but tablets is not the only thing. Yes, tablets help with pain. Tablet is not the only thing, because every tablet has a side effect as well. So for me, I'm more interested in diet. I'm more interested in the things that people can do to help themselves. So earlier on, I was showing you this big cup that I have. Let me keep drinking, because when I drink, then the blood cells, even with this shape where they can clot or stick together, hopefully they're flowing because I'm drinking a lot of water. That's something that I can do to help myself. So it's important. So it's not a question of, "Oh, I don't like water, or I don't like the taste of water." It's about my survival. It's about me not being sick. So that's something cheap, that one can do without spending money. um, Hopefully, water is free to some extent. Of course, one can buy in Africa, one sometimes might have to boil one's water or buy bottled water, things like that. But that's something that one can really do. And I have friends who do it regularly. I have a friend who lives with sickle cell, has a son with sickle cell, and they drink so much, like well over 2 liters per day. And she swears by it. She says because she does, she's hardly sick. Not that she's not sick, but hardly sick, and eating well, eating food that contains protein, eating food that also helps with one's energy level, because energy, the ability to do things, is a problem for those with sickle cell. Um, so eating things like beans, it's important to eat fiber, or cereal that have fiber, so that it helps with when one is constipated, because sometimes when one is sick and take some of these hard drugs, and when I say hard, I mean tablets like codeine or morphine and others, it would cause constipation and one might be bloated. So eating, when I say eating well, I'm not talking eating expensively, even though right now we know that food is expensive in Africa, in Nigeria, everywhere around the world. But eating things that will help one's immune system, for example, to not be sick, eating leafy greens, and I'm not talking salads, I'm talking our own greens, that we can use: kale, spinach, um, different kinds of grains that we have in Africa that helps us. There's also like in Nigeria, I don't know what it's called in other parts of Africa, but there's this leafy green called ugu that is so good for people with sickle cell to eat.
That's the pork leaf. We call it the pork leaf.
Yes, that's it. So, it's just make sure that when you're having your soups, eat greens. Don't just have pepper soup, not pepper soup. I mean, just stew, just ordinary stew. Have greens with it. Eat jute leaves, add it to your stew. What else? Okra. Okra is good. Things that are available for us, we can use it to advantage in Africa, because they are grown, they're organic, as opposed to abroad sometimes, where maybe they might not be organic, or well, you can get them, but maybe they might be a bit more expensive. So that's a way that people who can't afford to access medicine can help themselves in Africa.
Wow. I'm touched today. Today I'm so emotional.
Yes.
Now let's talk about why do we still have sickle cell present. I remember what growing up as a child they used to say, oh, our parents are ignorant. It's your mistake, but they're creating awareness to make sure that they eradicate it and all that. That it goes to extinction, but we've seen so far that even up till now, I can bet you that when you walk into an hospital in Nigeria right now, and there's somebody that was supposed to be on the show with us, as I'm talking to you, they are still at the hospital. When you have little children of 3, 5, 6 years, with living with sickle cell, what do you think that we are not doing right as a people? Because we know that we have been doing so much of campaign awareness. We've been talking. I know you, as a columnist, you write about it on daily basis on your blog. You even have a book on it. And now a lot of people also, we have NGOs, we have people doing awareness program, but we are still here. What do you think, Yuma? Do you think is the problem?
Yeah, it's a big problem, and it's especially a big problem in Nigeria because we have the highest rate of people being born with sickle cell. So, like you said, we have to ask ourselves, what is it that those of us who are speaking about it, what is it that the sickle cell community at large isn't doing right? And I think one thing is awareness. Perhaps we need to do more awareness. Um, you know, Nigeria and Africa as a whole is it's difficult to live out there and be living with a disorder. Today we're talking about sickle cell. And so people are busy with their lives, whereby, I mean, yes, we are talking, but how many people will this message get to? Not as many as we would want.
Want. Yeah.
Why? Because perhaps there isn't electricity. Perhaps people don't have money to buy data
Data.
onto their phone, So there are real issues for people. So in as much as we're talking, so that's why we just need to keep talking in whichever way. Is it a book that someone is going to get? Is it a few minutes on a social media website that they're going to see something about it? Whatever that is, we need to keep doing it because, and also I think some people sometimes just think it's not real until it happens to them or it happens to someone they know, and so they dismiss it. There's a lot of dismissal, maybe because they don't want to face the reality that they could have it. You're talking about young children being in hospital with sickle cell. Why are we still having them? Because people are being unrealistic in terms of when they marry or when they give birth, or well, before they give birth. And so they're not being real in doing the checks that they need to do to find out if they're compatible with someone. These checks abroad are available and they're free. But are they free in Nigeria? They should be, but they're not. So people will think, I haven't even got money to eat. I want to go and start spending money to check if I'm. So there are just so many obstacles, and hence the reason why there are still so many children being born in Nigeria, especially with sickle cell. So we just need to keep talking. We cannot get tired of talking. Everyone who speaks about it is doing a good thing. Hopefully, it will reach someone else that would hopefully take it on board.
Funny enough, one would have thought, like you said, that the medications are supposed to be free, not like they are, uh, because the rate at which you said now that we have the highest rate so far,
Mhm,
giving birth to sickle cell awareness. I know that NGO, non-governmental NGOs especially, are doing a great job.
mhm,
People like you who write daily about sickle cell, you're doing a great job. Punch is one of the, newspaper that a lot of people are reckoning with, if not everyone in Nigeria. And that is where you write your column on daily basis. And so I think people, our people, like you said, they feel like it's not real, until it actually happens to them. If not, I don't see any reason why a young person, we feel like love is enough. I was once at the hospital at a ward. I was ill. And, there's these couples that were fighting, quarreling. They actually lost a child, a sickle cell child. I think that she was 12 or 13, a very beautiful young girl. And the girl died, and the lady was blaming the man who I told you from the beginning. The parents came, they were quarreled. It was chaos, at the hospital.
mhm.
And sometimes so we tell people love is not enough, but like you said, until they experience it, they will not understand. And at that point, they feel with love, they can always conquer all. And I'm happy also that churches are not part of it, that you have to, check your genotype to make sure that you are compatible. Once you are not compatible, even though we know there are some that are stubborn. I had a friend way back that actually went to Catholic church. She was rejected. They went to Redeem. They were rejected, and they went to one roadside church. And now she's every day she calls me. She's crying. She's regretting, but it's too late now, right? But my pain is you bringing a child that you know the pain the child will go through on daily basis, excruciating pain that even you, the mother, will not understand, even though you're going to feel the pain as well. Because if your child is not okay, apparently you will not be okay, and you will
Yes.
have to spend so much money, going back and forth the hospital. Now, ma'am, what do we do as regarding these medications? How can government come in? Because we are not supposed to tell them how to come in. They are supposed to have known that this is something that needs urgent care. This is something that we can actually afford. This is something that they can have free medical access. As far to folic acid, these are some of the painkillers. Regular ones that every
Mhm.
sickle cell should have. Every hospital should have the
Yes.
sickle cell units where people walk in once you are tested, and of course you are living, you have the sickle cell, you should have access to free medical care. I know Nigeria is not UK. I'm not saying Nigeria is UK, but we're talking about sickle cell. How can government come in?
The only thing we can do when it comes to the government is to appeal to the government, appeal to the Ministry of Health. And I mean, they know, I'm not saying anything here that The government, the Nigerian government, the Ministry of Health doesn't know. They know that Nigeria gives birth to children, and the highest rate of children with sickle cell is in Nigeria. And this is, all over the world. So one would expect that the least they can do is not only to work hand in hand with NGOs, because we understand, the government can't be everywhere. So they do need those NGOs. But also to be able, I mean, there are companies, pharmaceutical companies in Nigeria that can make sickle cell, can manufacture, sorry, folic acid. I beg your pardon, can manufacture paracetamol. So why aren't they making this a priority? You know, that is a question that we can only ask and wonder. So it's to appeal to anyone that is watching today, who works for the federal government, for state governments, to say, please, there are so many people in each state, so many children, so many babies being born who have sickle cell, and the basic in terms of tablets that they need, folic acid on a daily basis, vitamin C on a daily basis, um, paracetamol, penicillin. These tablets can't be offered to these children or to these babies. It's unfair, and so it's just to appeal and say we can do better. We can do better. Nigeria is, on the whole, a generous country. We help each other. Um, we have empathy when we see people in need. So this is definitely an area in 2024 that I would love to see the government, federal and state, take this up and really start doing something. Let's see a change. We cannot continue, you know, knowing the statistics and yet on a federal or on a state level not do anything. We need to step up and do better, because what is happening is it's the like of us, you, myself, so many other people, helping those who have NGOs, or NGOs also looking and no doing awareness and looking for people who can sponsor so that they can buy this tablet. But it's not enough. It's not enough in terms of the amount of people that have it. We need a bigger help, which would be from the government. So yeah, my answer to that is to appeal to the government.
Okay, ma, I just want to ask you this one. Okay, can sickle cell ever go into extinction?
Mhm. I hope so. I really hope so. I've got to be frank with you, I've got hope about it. Not necessarily for the likes of someone like me, but babies being born, babies to be born. I believe so because science is really, really moving fast. And medical people, researchers are really looking into that. And especially now where we're in an age where there's a lot of information technology in terms of science and AI, lots of things are being looked at to see how can we, perhaps looking at the genetics of things, can things be changed? So yeah, I believe that one day it will happen. I'm hopeful about that.
We are all hopeful as well because the pain these people go through is just unbearable. Now,
Mm,
before we let you go, ma'am, let's talk about the stigmatization. We know that especially in Nigeria, there's something that comes with being a sickle cell. Oh, she won't live long. I've seen people being in relationships where they are rejected because maybe apparently they feel they will die soon. There is no point and all that. Even in their places of work and all that, at school, they're being bullies and all that. How is it like when we talk about stigmatization and of course the financial burden that comes with being a sickle cell patient?
yes. It's a lot. It's a lot, and yes, it's it's a lot. And I think what I would say, there's definitely stigmatization, and I've written a lot about it over the years. There's stigmatization in education. There's stigmatization in employment. Even I've read about discrimination as well in housing. So there it exists. And first of all, and I know I probably make it sound easy by saying, well, we need to keep talking so that, whatever things that people are thinking about, we can burst those bubbles. But beyond that, there's also things that we can do, in terms of education. Why would children be stigmatized? Why would they be discriminated against? So people with sickle cell need to talk. Parents need to talk. It's a fight that we need to keep fighting. Because is it because the school doesn't understand sickle cell? So we need to enlighten them about it and let them know that, okay, my child has is living with this condition. Please do not let my child go out when it's raining. you know please make sure my child is drinking water throughout the day, or my child is going to have bottles of water with him or her throughout the day. Can you not take those bottles away from my child because it's necessary? So it's things like that. When my child is sick and can't come to school, how could you help my child to not miss class so much? When my child is um no longer is in pain but recuperating, because it's not just the crisis. There's a crisis that can last for a week, a month, whatever, but let's say a week. Then that child or that individual still needs another week or so to get back on top form. So during that time, what can the school do to help the child? So there's that. In terms of relationship, I think it's about awareness. I've always written that the fact that a person has a relationship with another person who either has sickle cell or doesn't have sickle cell, my thing is, do not give birth. That's my main thing. I mean, you can adopt, or do you have to have children? you know? So, because to have a child, I mean, a father who has sickle cell and then have a child, it's draining financially in Nigeria and in Africa. Or to have a mother who has sickle cell and also the child or children. There are cases like that where you see a family where there are five children.
I have seen in Delta, I think four of the kids have sickle cell. I think
Yes,
the mom as well. So I don't know
yes.
how they came about, but the whole thing was the whole scenario. Sometimes two people having crisis at the same time. It's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking and it's messed up, because you would think that by the time this person was going into hospital and having the first child, and the first child had sickle cell, the second, surely someone in the hospital should put them, to the side and talk to them and, counsel. Counseling is also very important, and say, you can't continue like this. You cannot. How do you know that this your third child will have sickle cell or not? You don't. You've got to leave it at that. I think it's, as you said, extremely painful emotionally to have five children in the house and they all have crisis. There's no way that such a family can be financially buoyant. Sickle
Oh,
cell is expensive. It's expensive in terms of the when you're being intentional, in terms of the food that you eat, what you drink, even though you shouldn't really be drinking too many things that ain't good for you. Drink water. That's my thing. Just drink water. But if you want to drink, you can drink. To maintain a good health with sickle cell, it will cost you money. So people who have so many children with it, they need counseling. That's another thing that the government needs to invest in. Counselors, sickle cell counselors, sickle cell relationship counselors, sickle cell genetic counselors. So advising people on, you guys shouldn't even be thinking of coming together, especially if you're thinking of having children, because in as much as we know that children can come out of a relationship, but when people are taught that if you do have a sickle cell gene, you need to do a test, then that would help. That's why I say conversation and awareness is very important with sickle cell.
Hmm. Anyway, ma'am, this you've taught us a lot. This is quite interesting. Some of the things we like Mary said now, even myself, while growing up, there's a lot of myth and facts about sickle cell. Don't do this, don't do that. You will survive, you will die, and all that. But we've
Yeah.
come to see, and like this, we're talking about today this year's theme or 2024 theme is saying hope through progress, advancing sickle cell care globally. And we do hope that with people like you, ma'am, with your column you write on weekly basis, your books and your counseling, we do hope that people will actually key into this, especially parents, young people like us to know that, it is not enough, these feelings you have, this, emotions, this love is not enough. Sickle
Mm.
cell at some time we need it to go into extinction. The pain is unbearable. You can never understand the pain. Of course, unless you are in that shoes, you will never. It's not something they can describe and you comprehend. And so we are hoping that people we understand as we yearn, as we talk, as we speak, as we cry. People will understand that at some point, sickle cell we have to go into extinction for them to start doing the right thing. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being on the show. But what are your last words before we let you go?
Well, my last words is for everyone who's living with sickle cell, it's do the best that you can. That's what's important in wherever you might be today. The fact that you're alive, then you just have to keep on moving. Don't feel too sorry for yourself. Yes, it's a shame. Yes, some of us over the years have been angry at our parents, why did you give birth to me and things like that, but let it go. You are here and you do have a purpose, so try and fulfill that purpose, no matter how small it is. So be hopeful and keep it moving.
Thank you so much, viewers. We've been on the show with Tola Dehinde, somebody that I respect so much. She's so intelligent. She's a columnist, writer. She writes about sickle cell. She has this page on Punch. Her column is always on the Punch newspaper where she talks about sickle cell. Of course, she runs a blog as well, talking always preaching about sickle cell. She also has a book. You can actually get that book on Amazon. We're going to flash that book maybe tomorrow for you to get access to it. You don't have to be a sickle cell to actually get the book. You can give to friends, you can tell people, preach it. That is what we
Yes.
want, Once you preach it, once you tell people, even people that are not aware, can now understand the dangers of sickle cell, why they should avoid anything that will lead them into that. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Sorry, I had to. I actually, I said I promised 30 minutes, but I was so emotional. I didn't know when we got here. I'm
I'm
so
30 minutes
sorry.
because it was so educative. Like I learned a
Yes.
lot. I had a
Thank
wrong
you.
perception of the whole sickle cell stuff, but at least I can probably
Yes.
say I've learned from what she just said.
Yes, it's important for those of us who live with it and are, you know, okay, doing well, so to speak, like Princess, to come forward and talk and share our experiences, because then we can burst all these bubbles of people say, oh, you outgrow it, you do this, you do that, because you don't, but it's manageable as you get older.
And I
So,
love the fact also that sickle cell, like I said, they are, there are people that they're so interesting, intelligent as well. There's this thing that when they are younger, you look at them, oh, this one, oh, people are not always interested, but you find that they are always doing well. The ones that are now, as we grow older, you see them doing very well. They are doing
yes,
exploits in the society. And so
yes,
it's amazing. I celebrate you, a warrior. I celebrate every warrior out there. Everywhere you are,
yes.
know that we love you, we care for you. I celebrate
Indeed.
me as well. Thank you so much, Ma, for being on the show today. We
Thank
appreciate your
you
time.
very much for having me. Thank you. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome,
it,
Ma.
being here, and it's been a lovely conversation with both of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Okay, people. I beg you. I don't talk am before. Love is not enough. This thing you people are doing, love, love, love. I remember my girlfriend then. I saw we they want this girl. Ha! Leave this guy. Leave this guy. AS and AS. They want to marry. They go carry
But
show.
they know that
No,
this thing will not work.
they were saying they were in love. Nothing will happen. Some doctors actually told them that they can have one sickle cell child and the rest will not be. They will be AA and all that. They get deceived. They get carried away. And as I speak to you, she's having two children, sickle cell. And
Ah,
every day she will call, she will cry, she will do. Me and my friends, all of us in school, we tried, we begged. She even went to Redeem Church. She was, they even chased her away. She now went to
is
one
she
roadside.
still in love? Is she still in love?
Her parents were so angry. Which love? Can you be in love? Do you know what we're talking about? We talk about
Oh my God.
excruciating pain. How can you be in love when you're apparently sleeping at night and a child is crying and you have to start running to the hospital? Next week you are there, the other week you are there. Financially, it is draining. Emotionally, it is psychologically, it is draining. So where would the love come in? Love is
I
not
think
enough.
because I didn't met the religious ones that will tell you that they will pray and change the
Oh
God.
my goodness, that is what I wanted to
They will
ask Paula
change
out
the
there.
God. Like I've seen a whole lot of them. They'll come and tell you that they will pray that they won't pray. One said they prayed that her own changed to AA. I was like, wow. God though, let this my AA don't change
My
anything. This
goodness.
prayer
I
can
wanted
change
to
it.
even ask Tola. I wanted to ask Tola, this cliche about, our
You
religious
pray and
people
change.
churches saying, oh, I prayed and the thing disappear. I'm not AA. Please, I believe in miracle too, but I beg will tell a beg now do what is right. If you know you're supposed to be patient, do not jump guns. So do not jump like your friends. Do not go out when it's cold. Do not walk under the rain. Do not go to clubs. Do not do what you know your body will not take, because nobody will be there for you when the crisis starts. So do what is right. And like I said, we celebrate every warrior out there. Anyway, I have a gist. Wicked gist, they sweet me like this.
But
But
this one, this weekend gist, I saw something that made me angry. If it's not see finish, why will Flora instruct those
Mary, hold that
Muslim
thought.
sisters to
Viewers
pray?
will go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll continue with the newspaper segment. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the break.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number 070-6237-9915 or 080-7082-7331. Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at everbright.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
Hello, viewers. You're welcome back from that quick break. This is Wake Up Nigeria, and of course, we celebrate World Sickle Cell Day globally. What we'll talk about their strength, how they are going through all that trauma. Anyway, we had a guest earlier, a columnist, somebody that has been writing for Punch for so many years. You know, she has book on sickle cell. Of course, she runs a blog as well, preaching, talking about sickle cell. Now we're going to the newspaper segment. But Mary, what is happening with your guy? You know, Wike.
So now, is that how you used to be? You have changed Wicked to my guy. Wicked, and everybody know that you're the one that's loves
Wike na your guy, oh.
me. Hey, is it that we know that even that the kids normally says it now? Now Wicked is princess person. So I'm surprised that you just kind of shifted in one side. You have to shift Wicked one part. And
Wike
that
is your guy, man. I don't understand. What is wrong? What is going on with Wike? You see now that people there's how you will push people. People are now beginning to realize that Wike, you are in Abuja, you are the federal level. What are you still doing in the state? Causing mayhem, chaos, causing wahala left and right, pushing people, fighting. How about Wike? Can you stay in Abuja for 1 week without we hearing anything? Put all that energy in Abuja for where? Now we saw yesterday. In fact, let's go quickly into the newspaper segment where you will hear gunshot, people, whatever happened at River State. But my own concern was that people actually had to, youth actually had to, start chasing Wike off and all that and destroying the statues. Now this shows that people are tired. People are no longer, that. And funny enough, people might have respect for you, but when you overdo things, they just tend to lose that, that respect. Anyway, I want viewers to see this short clip, and then when we see this short clip, we will now go into the newspaper segment.
Somebody say something before
anyway, people cannot try this in FCT. I just it. Can only do that in Rivers.
Let me tell you something, Mary. There's something about you pushing people to the wall and they react. Don't forget what happened at NSAS. Now, what happened was people you saw crying with a united voice. One people speaking with one voice. They were clamoring for the same thing. They were tired, and the whole country reacted. Are you getting my point? So I think it's getting to a stage in River State where people are not getting tired of Wike, and even people that used to clamor, that they go about about everywhere Wike. They are getting tired, right? Because as it stands, Fubara is not being allowed to have peace to rule, to concentrate
And the
on.
constitution is too much. It's too much. It looks like if they have a way, they'll just impeach him. You understand? Because first of all, no respect, and whoever that is trying to kind of go against footballers, or that it means they're doing it because they see Wike by their side, right? Because with the knowledge I have, those local government chairman, all of them, their tenure has expired. So if you say you should evacuate your office and they refuse, and they want to remain there, it means you don't want to kind of obey whatever he's saying, and you cannot have a state that there is no governor. So does it mean that they want to be doing things on their own? So why is for the top of River, if you can't make a law, they obey it? All this is happening because these people are actually feeling that Wike is by their side. So I think to some extent he has pushed this man. I know that even a policeman died as a cause of this incident, which is bad. So I don't.
And we can see a story there boldly on the Punch. I think that's the headline there, the main headline coming from the Punch. We can see there is all about Rivers State today. And we know there was a serious chaos yesterday. And the main headline here says Rivers crisis, cop killed as youths dislodged pro Wike LG chairman. Now, these are some of the stories we have. This is the main, caption. This is the main headline for the day coming from the Punch newspaper, and it's so worrisome. So, Mary, if you look at this headline here that is saying Rivers crisis, cop killed as youths dislodged pro Wike local government chairman. Fubara meets security chiefs, warn against arrest of his supporters. Public take over 23 local governments. Police take over 23 local government secretariats to forestall violence. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from the Punch, and is the main headline as we can see. Have you seen now that if Wike is not stopped, if this their beef, Wike and Fubara, if it's not stopped, you see that people will keep dying. Look at a cop. We just lost a cop.
That
Another
is it.
killed as well.
It's
So
difficult
people
with the police. You can imagine if it
because
was
of
a soldier that was killed like this. You know that the whole River State will be in a mess. There will be a problem. Because these soldiers want to retaliate. I don't know whatever police action would be. But because of this, their whole political stuff now, we've lost the life of somebody. So what I don't understand is this not greed? Is this not selfishness? At least you are the minister of Abuja, right? I feel like you have a whole lot to do here. Why not just focus on this place? Because for how long will you keep fighting Fubara? Because the more you fight him, as it is right now, at first I was having the mindset that maybe Fubara was afraid of Vicky, like he doesn't want to fight
he
him.
was actually, he was
Okay, he
actually.
was right. But now it's now so glaring to me that he can actually stand and defend himself. So if Fubara is fighting Wiki and Wiki is fighting Fubara, so how can there be peace in Rivers? How can Fubara even do the needful as a Rivers State governor if this is actually what they are doing right now? So it's really not making any sense. Right now we've lost the life of the police, right? So you don't know how many people will die as a cause of this. So it's if we actually just let peace, allow this to go. It doesn't mean that he doesn't want it to look like okay, I give up on this. He wants to keep fighting. For how long will he keep fighting?
It
Because
is
this is
sad, it is really, really sad. The fact that it's not gotten to a stage where even people are not reacting. We can see now also when you go to the Tribune newspaper as well, there's a story here, the main headline also. Mary, can you take the main headline? Now let's go to all the headlines of the paper talking about this particular news here.
okay. The Tribune, the big story says Rivers two killed as crowds erupt over forceful takeover of councils, and the rider says Ijaw youth protest continues stay in office of local government chairman, destroys weakest statue. Fubara meets security chiefs. Governor directs administration heads to take charge of local government. Please take over council secretariats. 60, okay, local government, 60 lawmakers as governors to file treason suits against 23 council bosses. And other stories, you can find them on page 2 of the Tribune.
Now let's go to the Guardian newspaper.
Okay, the big story on the guidance is Rivers in turmoil as Fubara pro-Wike fractions battle for local government areas. And that's on page 6. And on the Vanguard, Nigerians, okay, the Vanguard big story is different.
No, there's the
But we
story
have
is
something like
different.
mayhem in Rivers as Wike Fubara fuel spills to local government and headquarters. That's on a story on Vanguard, but not the big story.
Now, my point is this. When they said there's a saying that when two elephants fight, the grass suffers.
Okay,
Now,
The Daily Times carried it as well.
okay.
And the big story on the Daily Times shootings as Fubara directs okay local government area to take over 23 councils. Security operatives killed. Ijaw youth occupy PH local government complex. And that's on page 2.
Now, my problem is this, Mary. When we will now have you as an innocent person, right? You are
Yeah.
going about your normal life, you and your family, you're going about your normal life. You have nothing to do with either Wike or Fubara. You are not a politician, you have not, they've not given you money to share, and you are not even in their business at all. And you are now being caught in the middle of this, flying bullets or something, people being killed in the process. It doesn't make sense, man.
At all. It
It is
doesn't.
senseless, actually, that people we have to start running away from their own states because of the selfishness of Wike and that of Fubara, especially Wike, that will not let go of the states. It's the same thing that our governors are doing, not letting go of the local government, not letting go of minimum wage as well.
But why
Politicians
do
are
I
so
feel like
selfish.
why
They
do I
are
feel
so
like this Wike's
selfish.
attitude? I feel like there's a level of respect that would have been accorded to Wike. He was not the only governor of Rivers. Amechi was there as well, right? Even the other Peter Odili and all of that. They were there. There's this level of respect they are getting. I feel like Wike is bringing himself so low. Because now you see people, the supporters of Fubara, fighting him that are not up to his standard. You get, so there's this level of there's what we call see finish that he's bringing to himself. Because what if at the end of the day he doesn't win this battle? You get, there's a kind of insult he's bringing to himself. Why not just maintain that respect you already have as a minister of Abuja and face whatever work you have to do in Abuja? So why fighting the Rivers governor? He has people that will fight you also. And by so doing, definitely, you begin to lose whatever respect you have for yourself. But he's not saying it this way. He needs to do better. Honestly, he needs to.
It's just my opinion that politicians are so selfish, they are wicked, and whatever they do, at the end of the day, they want to keep getting the people involved in their and I will always tell the youth on to do the needful. Actually, you do not expect people that have been fighting for their own selfish aim to come and do what, and you come and die because of them. Don't die because of them. If they
At
are
all.
fighting, they should bring their children also to be involved in that fight. At least we know that Wike should have children. Fubara also have family. They should fight. Don't get involved in their dirty fight. Don't get involved in whatever they are doing. If they want to fight, they should keep fighting, but they should use their children also to do that fight and whatever they're doing. And I really, for me, I really feel for the resident of the state, because Mary, as it stands, nothing is working there. Let's be very sincere. I don't think anything is working in that state right now.
In Port Harcourt. How can
Yes.
something be working? Can't you see that even the element road, sometimes you see that truck fell, people died. And you know that element is a very bad place in Port Harcourt, where they keep, sometimes they carry people, students of Rivers State University, Uniports, they take them to that element and kill them. It's that bad. So there are a lot of things, security issues for wicked, I mean for footballers to even tackle. I feel like there are a lot of things he needs to do. So they should do away with this whole fight, because all these things they are, is for their interest. I wish this whole godfatherism something didn't come to play. They have allowed it in a long time, and now they can't stop it. Anybody that steps out wants to be the one controlling the person in charge. You get, you want to be the one to put the person there as a governor, and you want to control whatever actions he's doing. So and maybe and in the long run, if whatever decision you want to take is not aligning with that person's own, this is where the problem comes. They have a lot of things that football needs to do. You understand? Because even when Wike was there, he worked more on the Obiakpo parts. That is where he hails from. So these are the parts he actually develops. So Fupa has his own part, right? He's I think from the rivers part and all of that. So there are things he needs to do also. They have some bad roads there. They have some things that need to be developed as well. Insecurity issue, bad roads and everything that they need to do. Roads are bad. You understand? So there are things he needs to do in Rivers State. Even not for the shell that is a kind of big place that people make money from. Rivers don't have much companies. You see more of hotels. So there's some establishment that he needs to do in River State. You understand? So we should allow him concentrate and focus so that things can get better in that state. They cannot keep living on only oil. What about the agricultural part of it? They need to do more in River State. And please, I don't know, we need to allow him to focus and concentrate. Because we are doing this, it cannot help anyway. This will continue because I know that Fubara will not give up at this point. At this stage, as long as he can fight Wike, he will not give up. And Wike himself don't want to give up. But Wike, you're not the governor. Allow him, let him be. That is just the best thing to do at this point.
Well, anyway, I do hope that River State people will be sensible. Don't come and die in between their field. Don't come and get involved in their fight. Don't lose your life because of these two people here. They are
Princess,
politicians.
you thank God you school in Rivers. You should know them. This is what they like. That's when you see court boys that will come out. You understand? This is what they like. You see this fight? Hey, it's one sugar and tea in their life. This is what they like. So Rivers is the wrong place to
But
kind of
Mary, in as much as we know that River State has been associated with violence over proud to now or over the
yes,
years, I know they are calm-headed people. I have my families, my cousins there. I have people other from other state living there, living their lives. They
so
don't want
same
issues
here.
as well. So we do hope that people will not be caught in the middle of this. They've started killings, and who knows what will happen tomorrow. People, we're talking about the lives of people. So look at these two politicians very well. Do not get involved in their mess. Stay away from them. Let them deal with their issues. They have their kids, they have their family abroad, they have their family untouched. Don't be fooled, man. Just stay away from their issues and live peacefully.
And live peacefully. Look at the person that died now. Wike is still alive. Fubara is still alive. And somebody has lost his life. This person is a father. He has families, right? He has people that loves him. He has his own family too that will be grieving right now. It's not worth somebody losing his or her life. It is not worth it. Because now these people they are alive and they will still live. And tomorrow they might even settle. So at this cost, people might actually die if they continue with this. And maybe at the end of the day, they will not settle their beef. This is not making any sense at all. Because if it has gotten to the level where people will start losing their life, then honestly, I think the federal government should intervene. Because it looks like they're silent about this all this while. They should intervene and do the needful so that people will not keep dying because of Wike and football beef, which is for one selfish reason or the other. Can you imagine?
Anyway, we move on. We move on now to other stories we have because of time. There's a story there, Mary, on the Guardian. Uh, NAFDAC says cooked food in fridge beyond 3 days harmful. Ewo, Mary, what of us that have been doing it all our lives, so forever our
Are
parents.
you hearing this? Oh my gosh. I'm even speechless right now. What are they saying now?
Because I know that all my life, even my mom, I grew up actually seeing my mom doing that. Even though my daddy don't used to eat stale food, only fresh food. That's only for my dad when he's around from work. But I know my mom used to. We had a lot of freezers while I was growing up, so everything was actually was always in the fridge. And now this one I'm hearing now, I beg God, they should not harm us because we're still living with it. We don't have choice. Nobody have the strength to cook every day. Oh. Cook stew,
There
cook
are
this.
people that there are people that even if this thing is harmful, they cannot stop it. They are used to it. They have like a whole large portion of soup. You understand? That might not finish even in 2 weeks' time. They make this soup, they keep it, and they cannot be eating that soup every day. They have other things they will eat. You get so this soup will be there. Some say even for months, you see meat, you see fish in their fridge. It's everything. So I don't know how this will come to play because there are people that cannot stop this, and I'm very sure of it.
Anyway, let's move to the Vanguard newspaper now. I think I love the headline there today on the Vanguard.
Okay, the
Maybe take that Vanguard. Take the headlines.
we've seen the big story. Okay, one of the story here says how Lagos police rescued kidnapped Fwani MD, four others in midnight raid. And that story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Uniben graduates beaten, raped to death in Edo. And that story is on page 6 of the Vanguard newspaper. Cholera. Some Lagos schools may not resume from break. This coming from Commissioner. And you can find that story on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. And here we have a story also that says residents and doctors beg for more physicians at general hospitals in Ilorin. And that story is on page 38 of the Vanguard newspaper. Health holding as celebrates impact convenes annual directors summit. And that's on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. And also, we have a story, I think, from the sport desk on the Vanguard. Finally, NFF accepts Finidi's resignation. And that's on page 47 of the Vanguard. Okay, I think these are all the stories we have this morning on the Vanguard newspaper. Mm. Princess, are you there?
Sorry, I actually muted my sound. I said there's a story here that says Uniben graduate beaten, raped to death in Edo. Now there this I we often see or hear such story from Edo. I don't understand. I ran that Uniben. The other time we had somebody too that was raped even in a church close to the school. She was dragged into the church, she was raped inside the church, a young girl too, and now and she actually died. We've seen another one. This is becoming not becoming. A graduate, I heard that she actually went to church as well. I think she was coming from church or school and she was actually killed. That is very disheartening and it's very painful as well. I can imagine how her parents will be feeling right now. It's very sad, and I do hope that security operatives and the state governor will actually sit up and look into this, and these killers, rapists, they should be brought to book. This is very sad. And then there's a story here also. The main headline says Nigerians not alone in poverty. At LP tackles Tinubu. Tinubu warns against Raytrix vandalism, stealing of electric cables. You are elected to reduce poverty, not to amplify it. LP, stop making excuses for inflicting multi-dimensional poverty in Nigerians. Now that's coming from Atiku.
Article.
Yes, I know this is on the heels of the presidential jets they are planning to purchase. The House of Rep is actually calling for a new jet to be bought, of course, to our dear able president and our
He said the
dear.
one they had has stayed for over 20 years, and
Yes, and so they are now waiting for a new one. And we know that Obi actually fought that issue. Obi actually, tackled them yesterday. Obi did tackle them, and I was seeing Atiku doing the same. And
do you
I
know,
quite
even in
yes,
this, sorry to cut, even in this suffering, you know, some people are they are still not learned. They still prefer that tribalism, you understand? Tribalism, religious stuff is still sinking into their head. And I don't know how they can actually start thinking. Because when they said the one they had, you understand, was since over 20 years, it's during the Obasanjo regime, that is not good, that does Obi wants Tinubu dead, that it needs a kind of they need to work on it, that they even managed to use it the last time. You get my point. And I saw some people saying, you understand, that why we Peter Obi kick against it, that does he want the president dead for the one they had I stayed over 20, that it's not bad to change this. But at least I was able to see reasonable people that were kind of praising Peter Obi for that. That's okay. You care about the president, his safety, how to get any private jet. Why over millions of Nigerians are suffering in poverty, are suffering every day, and nothing has been done. But people can actually talk about trying to get a private jet, you understand, for the president. So this is it. I really don't know. At the end of the
Mary, you ought to know already. These people, politicians, are insensitive. They do not care. They have a thick skin, they have a cold heart as well. Otherwise, you would not say at this point. And I love the fact that Atiku and Tinubu and rather Obi on this to make sure they stop every move, foolish move at that, coming
yeah,
from our dear lawmakers. They don't have anything to do apart from, of course, recommending how to borrow, and of course on national new national item or presidential jets. How can we be talking about jet right now? This is a time that Nigerians, we don't even have. You can't even settle labor. Labor that has been crying for the welfare of workers. Everything has gone up, skyrocketed, and nothing is coming down. Look at the fuel. People are not able to leave their houses, and you're talking about. Of course, you saw
private
them
jet.
yesterday.
Hey, I don't
You saw
know.
them yesterday, the way they were dressed, so well, looking all gorgeous, having dinner with the president. These people do not understand the pain that Nigerians are going through. They do not understand.
At
And
all.
there's a story here that says resident doctors beg for more physicians at General Hospital. in lorry. These are the things we talk about. By the time you refuse to pay their due welfare, they are leaving the country for you. They are going away. And now we are not having. Yesterday we saw shortage of drugs because of a hike in price. Now we're not seeing shortage of doctors. Apparently, the federal government want people to die. Otherwise, what is the meaning of this? They cannot get anything right. They can't do
I don't know
anything.
if maybe they want Nigerians, with the citizens to reduce. Because first of all, they want to kill us with hunger. We are not dying. You understand? Now they can't even provide drugs. They can't even provide even the physicians. Nothing, nothing. And here they are coming to talk about private jets. I really don't understand. Tomorrow they'll come and say that citizens need to sacrifice for the country to be better. So our leaders can't they sacrifice for the country to be better? I thank God that
And,
Nigerians
and,
is
and,
ready.
and this cholera outbreak also we have on the Guardian newspaper. This is due to we're seeing here that Nigeria in race against time as fresh cholera outbreak kills 30 in 30 states. That means cholera has actually, moved into every other state. And we talk about lack of good water, good access to good water and all that. These are some of the things that government is supposed to do right. We can't keep telling people what these people what to do and what not to do. It is actually very painful. Yes, it is actually very painful that we have people, we have government, and then nothing is even working well. And these people will still be doing. Is it that when they appoint these their advisors, these their their aides, they don't tell them the truth. They don't show them the news. They don't see what is happening. It's very painful.
But they see, they know. It's obvious that they don't care. The main point of the whole thing is they don't care. Right from the insecurity issues, you will know that they don't care. And for the fact that things are this high and nothing has been done about it, things keep going on every day, you should know that they don't care. So it looks like maybe they want the citizens to reduce. That is just it.
Anyway, I saw this very beautiful festival that was held in Ojude Oba Festival in Lagos. I actually had the footages. I don't know how come I don't have them here. They are so beautiful, colorful, representing us as a people. And of course, it tells a lot about the Yoruba culture. In fact, I saw them and I immediately fell in love. This is something that you will see and you will know that these people are actually holding their culture in a very high esteem. They are upholding their tradition, not like some of us when we say we they hide. People will
No,
not.
you don't need to include yourself. Some people, because you're not hiding your culture. You understand? You're not
Yes,
hiding,
I know, right? I used to do shows now. That's true. I
so
used to
you're
do
not
a
hiding
lot
it.
of
And
shows.
I used to see you speak Urubu with your good chest. You're
That
not
is
hiding
true.
your
That is
culture.
true. I used to do a lot of shows. I used to do a lot of shows from my place, you know. But like we say now, a lot of people also are hiding. They don't want to associate with their culture for one reason or the other. But the Yorubas and the Igbo are people that we know that will always be colorful when it comes to culture, and they will always be there, representing their people. They are not people that we hide for any reason, and that is one amazing thing I love about the Yorubas. They're actually doing well. I'm trying somehow to see if we can see how colorful this festival. I was actually going to bring a Yoruba person to ask what the festival is actually all about because it's so glamorous. It's something that we even had, the international we had international media covering, and this shows how beautiful our cultures, how they are, and of course how beautiful we are as a people, even though we saw some of our local medias as well. But the fact that international media were there to cover this event actually speaks a lot about us, about our people, about our cultures as well. Anyway, I've been trying to pull the images. I'm not able. Let's quickly go to sports, Mary. What's happening?
Sports matter. Eh. Okay.
Take some, take some of the headlines before we wrap up the show from the sports.
The big story on the sports is Operation Graphisayo, and we have Story Siri, a club joined daily Bashir race. Lazio yet to seal deal. And that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. Okay, there's a story here that say Educate Dreams Eagles return. And that's on page 6 as well. National trials. Amene Joseph win 400 million titles. And that's on page 2 of the Punch Sport Extra. We have a story also that says Turkey 3 goes to 1 in Georgia, and then Gula scores Turner in Turks thrilling win, and that's on page 8. We have Germany, Hungary host last 16 sports. Okay, I think there's another one here. Arsenal ready, 100 million euro Osimhen's bid, and that's on page 6 of the Punch Sports Extra. Okay, I think these are all the stories we have this morning on the
Hmm.
Punch.
Quite a lot coming from the
What's my your
punch.
best? What's my your best?
Mary, what's happening with your people now? I will see that NFF
Nigeria.
officially.
Oh. How do you know? What's my in Nigeria? Oh. I think it was in Lagos because the news carried that you.
It's secondary or be primary school to give them the
Yeah,
calf cup or something.
I heard he gave them about 15 million or so maybe for the foundation, and but that's not the first time he has been doing this. That's not the first time. There was a time he was in Lagos. He visited as well, and this time around again. So our coach Finidi has finally resigned, right? So what do we do right now? That's the question because nothing has been said. We don't know the next person that is coming. We don't know who is going to coach the Super Eagles. But this whole thing is happening at the wrong time. Not when we know that we still have matches ahead. So let's see. Can we beat Rwanda? We don't know. And the coach is resigning out of one misunderstanding or so. But it is well. It is well. I don't know how we're going to scale through from here. Like I don't know.
Anyway, it's quite disheartening that the NFF have actually accepted his resignation. So officially, we do not have a coach, Mary. Officially, we are coachless.
Officially, there's no coach in the Super Eagle.
And then we have a match upcoming. Maybe they are going to look for an interim coach or somebody to just uh be with the Super Eagles on that match. But we can already see that this already will demoralize the players. This already will bring, there's something this kind of situation or scenario brings to people. It brings, a weakness, it demoralizes the players, they will not be interested, they will not be excited as well. Talking about the feud between the former Super Eagles coach now, Finidi, and you know um our dear boy
You try to
Osimhen.
take his car away from him. Oh. You're just now I just bought him a car. Now there's the problem. You should leave
And they
that
will
with him.
take back the car now. Is it supposed to go with the car? I'm not sure it's supposed to go with the
I
car
don't
though.
understand. They should allow him. Oh. The stress is too much. After the mental stress, they want to now collect the car. No. And
So
then,
it's not right for them to take the car.
did it not work for them? Is it because we have been losing our matches? But it works now, Princess. Princess, check it now. So
Omo, the tension alone sef, the BP you will be having alone,
it's
the
something.
BP. Yes, you will just be having BP up and down, in the name of, trying to make sure these people win their matches and all that. It's actually very sad, that he was not able to meet up. And then a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, we knew he was not the man for the job and all that." Nigerians will
Nigerians,
always have a way.
Nigerians. Princess, you and I know that you should not believe that. Nigerians, do you know that if we had won our match against Benin Republic, those Iceland, they'll say Finidi is the best. They knew
The
Finidi
best
knew
coach.
how to put these players in order. You know that kind of thing. When you are winning, people talk good about you, and when you are failing, you see a lot of critics. I actually thought about it. What if we had won the 2 matches? Are we going to have this clash, this outburst of Osimhen and Finidi on the other part? We'll not be talking about it. But I noticed something, I said it from the onset, that there's one thing about Nigerians that I know. Once we start losing, it's a problem. It's a problem. Because at first, why didn't they know that Finidi was not competent enough for it? Is it not that they're now getting to find out that he's not in a place whereby the match is already going on? You understand? Other people, other countries, they are set, they are ready, they are working on themselves. Here we are having a coach that's resigning at the wrong time. I don't know whoever they want to bring right now that will make it work. Well, like I said,
At a very wrong time,
that's
if you
why,
ask me.
yes, let's still be positive. I don't
At
know
a
how
very wrong time.
How they're going to make it to win these other matches. But let's see. Let's not be like it's my own mouth. I want to spoil show. Because if they win, I'll come here and celebrate. Oh, I'll come here and rejoice. That is the truth.
Anyway, that'll be a good place to wrap up the show today. Thank you so much, viewers, for being on the show. Thank you for our dear guest that actually came. She's all the way also from the United Kingdom. She's here with me in London. Thank you, Mary, and thanks to my amazing self for being on the show today. Hopefully, tomorrow we're going to do this again, but we do hope that in Rivers there will be calm, there will be peace because of the good, loving people of Rivers State. I'm not talking about Wiki and his people, I'm talking about the good people. We already know who are the good people and the bad people. We hope that there will be peace in River and in Nigeria as a country. And do not forget to follow us on our social media handles. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on X, and of course, YouTube. Leave us with your comments. Subscribe to our page and share this amazing content. We'd love to hear from you. And of course, do not forget that our magazine last month rather edition is out. Our magazines are archives, they are places where you can showcase your amazing self, your brand, your businesses to the world for people to see how amazing the amazing things you're doing. And of course, they are a way of, you also, safeguarding yourself and everything you have done so far. They are archives. And do not forget our, A, B, and B across Abuja, across Lagos, London, Delta as well. Just a call away, and we'll be there for you. And don't forget that, like Mary will always say, is home away from home. Nothing but luxury, nothing but premium is what we offer, you know. And the good thing is that we'll have a free Wi-Fi cards to help you explore the city, a well-furnished apartment, with everything up to date. So do well to give us a call via the numbers you're seeing right now. And yes, our logistics also are there. Just call us and we'll deliver to your doorstep ASAP. And do not forget the Nigerian week that is fast approaching. Next month is around the corner. It's a full pack activity already. We're going to be having the Nigerian film screening, the Moonlight Film Festival. We're going to be talking about, the real estate. That is one sector that people are harnessing, that people need to harness as well. People need to go into. And so, these will make our discussions. We're going to be looking at the Nigerian real estate. We'll talk about agriculture, you know, how to harness it and all that. Don't forget also that we're going to be looking at awards as well, where we're going to be crowning well-meaning Nigerians, the people who have done so well, not people like Wiki, people that have done so well that we will be recognizing to say, well done, thank you. And we have quite a lot already. So you can be a partner, you can sponsor as well. Just give us a call and we'll be right there for you. Thank you so much, Mary, for being on the show today. And once again, we stay, congratulations to every warrior out there as the struggle. We always say the struggle continue as the world celebrates World Sickle Cell Day. Preach it on. You don't have to be a sickle cell to speak, to say the truth. Keep preaching it on. They are the kind of people that cannot get married. When they do and they have a child, they'll produce a sickle cell. And this is what we preach about. So please, let's all try to see how we can actually put it into extinction, and that sometime in the future, sickle cell will be a thing of the past because the pain they go through is actually unbearable. And we say happy World Sickle Cell Day to every warrior that has survived so far. We had a guest earlier, she's heading to 60, like she said, and you can see against the cliche that they die so young, they are not healthy, they are not this. All that is a lie. You can actually live healthy. But it has to do with money and not a lot of finances and here and there. That is why we're saying, do not go into it. Love is not enough. Emotions are not enough. I love you is not enough. Please do what is right so that sickle cell can go into extinction. Thank you so much. Mary, your last words and we wrap the show.
Okay, just like you said, love is not enough. If we think about the future, we avoid a lot of mistakes. Please, for those people that know that they are sickle cell patients, they should watch out well when they want to find a life partner, because the stress is beyond love. At that point, you will not start thinking about love. Rather, you start thinking of how healthy these kids will be. You understand? So let's start looking out for ourselves and know that it is important that we do the needful at the young age before we get to that stage whereby we cannot do anything. That's what I have to say.
I think kudos to our churches. The religious people are actually doing well. They are trying to actually put a stop to it, but people are stubborn. But you as a young person, the first thing you ask the person, hey, hello, what's your name? You ask them what's your blood type or what's your genotype. I think that would be a good way to start.
That's it.
Anyway,
They have talking stage. So in that talking stage, not just ask what they like, what do you get, and all of that, what they do, the kind of job. When you're asking in that talking stage, ask them their blood genotype. It's very important.
what
So
is
that
your genotype so that we not go enter where we not bargain for?
Let me say we cut within 2 weeks, or if it will continue after 2 weeks. You understand? It's very important though.
Anyway, thank you so much. I leave you with my usual words. Do not drink and drive. If you must drive, if you must drink, drink water. And if you must drive, do not drink. And of course, obey the traffic laws. Remember that peace is priceless, so let's always give peace a chance. See you again on the show tomorrow.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience, cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen, and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can reach us by calling this number 070-6237-9915 or 080-7082-7331. Ooh la la! The second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of art and culture, entertainment, business, and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion, and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5. OAY. Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come